All right, we are live. Oh, sorry about that delay, guys. We are here. I want to put this up here. In a vibe. Thank y'all for joining. We are going to finish up our fan art Warhammer figurine here. Got like 2/3 the way done. I still got to do the flesh tone for the thighs, and then start adding in the metallic detail here, and then paint this base. I'm really hoping I can knock that out today. That would be fantastic. That would be God's gift to the world right now. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought. I did get 6 hours on this yesterday. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking like, this might have came out a little bit different. If I had to use my paint markers, I probably would have got as bright as the tone here on screen, but I'm not really complaining. I'm looking for accuracy more than anything. So let's see. Let's pick up when we left off. We're going to hit this gold. And then shortly, I'm going to pop on some Warframe lore videos because I was trying to get into the franchise, but sheesh. Warhammer is something you got to really be invested in. But I get it to a degree. It is really interesting. This camera's right too, because I did tip over. All right, let's get into it. Let's jump into it. Let's hit it with the gold. And then I want to come back and add the black and then do the flesh tones. I'll probably do the flesh tones last on the thighs and the bicep. Just because it's such a small sample that it takes so much, it doesn't really take up a whole lot of space on the model itself. So I can probably get away with doing that last. As far as the eye detail goes and little stuff like that, I do got my paint markers that I can actually use to really bring the vibrance of the color up. Before I really get into the deep details, I really need to make sure I get all my base colors down so I know exactly how this is all going to look. I could do the metallic with the markers as well, technically. Because most of this dry brush is going to look really counterproductive. Well, let's go ahead and dive in with this gold. TikTok still has me on the fucking ban. Why? I don't know. They truly hate to see me be great. I know some people want this. Okay. Let's go in here. Let's hit the gold. I need to do the other kneecap. I don't know where the hell I left off at last night. That's kind of why I hate I stopped in the middle. Man, my back was killing me yesterday. In hindsight, I would have ran that string yesterday a little too long. Let's go ahead and really hit this with the gold. The thing I'm hating the most right now is the quality of the print itself. It is so scuffed. It's making me sad. It's like, what? Stuff. Why is this so scuffy? I really went through some shit trying to get this off the printer yesterday. I have a playlist, but I don't have that. See if we can't find us let's find us some music to really vibe to. Hey, see if we can't go over this with some gold and really start bringing these highlights up. In hindsight, I probably could have used the markers. I've used my paint markers to really get this vibrant shade that I'm really looking for. I might repaint it and color it with paint markers just to really do a review and see how it looks. Like actually looks. Yeah, your boy's trying to get into that Warhammer lore just a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, Warhammer's interesting. I was listening to a couple of hours of lore videos yesterday, and I'm like, okay, I see why people like Warhammer. It's got a really rich tapestry for lore. It is an ever-evolving world, and I get it. I get it now. But I'm so far behind on Warhammer. I really do enjoy the bit that I've learned so far. Really get up in here with this. Yeah, I went with too many dark colors. And I called myself really giving this thing some life. And I feel like I cheated myself not giving this the bright, vibrant color shade it deserves. What is this? What is this? That feel like it wasn't doing shit for music. I already brought the music playlist here. I normally have my playlist already picked and set up, but like, you know what? I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Kind of feeling some synth wave techno today. What I want to make sure I get all the gold highlights done. Let's give you guys a quick look. Like, the camera's never going to do it justice. You guys can't see the glitter and the glisten that I'm looking at here, or the deep gold. It's kind of showing up a little bit. It's all right. I don't like it though. And like I said, it's got some rough spots in here where it's like, it looks like it's been beat to living hell. On one hand, I like it. On the other hand, I kind of wish it was a little bit more workable. This playlist is not cutting the mustard. I'm not even going to sit here and cap. Like, I need something that's going to hit it, you know? Let's do that. That's my jam. Let's draw our brush out. Again, about the shade I'm looking for. Barely see that gold, but about the shade I'm looking for. Whenever I put the brush to the model, I want to make sure I don't put too much gold or too much paint on this brush in general. I just kind of want to touch it. Boom. I really need to work on my lighting in this office though. That way you guys can see this stuff a lot better. This channel was not initially going to be an art channel, but you know what? People like it so much. I'm like, you know, fuck it, we rebranded. That yellow did not go down on this model very well. And in hindsight, it's like, ooh. didn't really pick a brighter yellow than the yellow I picked. Yet, I don't know how well you guys can see that gold really shine through. We got just a few more spots to hit with this gold, including side of the helmet and the boots. Then we can really start working our way through this black and this gray. That gray gunmetal, doing it raw is gonna be fun. Because I'm gonna mix black with gray and then put the metallic on top to give it a little bit more flair. And I'm debating on how exactly I'm gonna do that though. I don't know how much flair I'm actually gonna put on it with the metallic. I might leave the gray bits, the metallic part of her body, as just cold hard steel. Just so it's got some differentiating contrast to it. Ooh, can I get up in here? I'm so scared I'm gonna break this damn blade. I really am. Every time I have to get near it, every time I touch this model, I feel like I'm gonna snap this fucking blade in half. And this thing is so fucking flimsy. I'm pretty sure you guys can see that. That is so, like, one wrong bump, one wrong move, and this whole thing's gonna snap and I'm gonna cry. I already broke the back of the handle, which you guys can't quite see. But yeah, I actually had to super glue that back on once I actually put this thing back together. And again, we're using our fan art photo here in the corner. This as a reference. And this is something somebody put on Twitter, and I'm like, you know what? This is so fire. I had to make this into a model. And the artist was kind enough to say, you know what? Go for it. So I want to do him justice. I want to do this level of justice and respect. Because if someone's going to let me use their artwork for a medium, I want to make sure I get it right. And if you're watching this and you're a fan, or you want to make one of these of your own, be sure to hit that link to my Patreon. All of my FCL files are there. All of my 3D mesh models are there. You're really, this model is Varuna from Warframe. There's one more I need to put up. One more I got to put up. I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. I'm debating on whether or not I want to put Saber Wolf up there. And Killer Instinct. I really do hate I can't stream the TikTok though. That's where a lot of my fellow artists are, and I've been ingratiated into that community, and man, it is fantastic. There's some really talented painters out there, and every time I think I'm doing a little good, I'm like, damn bro, this person put a level of detail or paint style I've never seen or I'm unfamiliar with. I gotta step my game up. That's what I love about it. It's so inspirational. Like, you know, we're doing this for a little while, but these guys been doing it for a minute. And even they're like, dude, you are fucking good. If you've only been doing this for like a month, I can't tell. I wish I could put this song on. I truly do love this song. I need to find that. So let's see. I'm really worried about the interior portion of this too, because I don't have as much brush control as I would like to have. So I'm really just praying to God I don't overextend this gold, hitting on portions that aren't supposed to be gold, because if I fuck that up, it's gonna be hard to get in here and not wreck this down. Perfect, 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 perfect. Gently hit this shoe with that gold right here at the top. And we can see it. It's coming together. It's coming together real nice and clean. And once that flesh tone hits, it's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna be a wrap when that flesh tone hits. Like this bit of detail in this up into the midsection, that's my favorite part of this figurine. Like the detail is so fucking good. that detailing is just so delicious. Like the way that looks is just, it's almost one for one perfect. And we can kind of see the detail in the shoes we just did here. Just lay down our gold and these highlights. These highlights are absolutely fantastic. What I really wish I had done is, if I end up doing this model again, I definitely will up the front, so that way this model actually looks like it's been in combat. Maybe it just got back out of combat, and this is beat the shit. But the back of this thing looks really beat the fuck up. And maybe an explosion went off behind it, and it just kind of seared the back, and then the front is like, I'm a bad. We're gonna get this gold here on the boot. Got a little bit more gold detailing to add to the end. I'm almost done with this gold. I just need to touch the side of her helmet. So some of that gold is gonna rub, some of that gold is gonna hit in spaces that aren't supposed to be gold, but we're gonna have to deal with that and come back and recolor some of that. Fine, it's fine. Main thing is we get the gold where the gold is supposed to go. Let's see. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm showing up for your boy today. Appreciate it. I got any Warhammer fans watching right now? I need somebody to really lay down some lore and help your boy out. Like I said, I'm kind of getting into it, but it's, holy shit, it's so much. I probably got like 3 hours into like the human side and of the Warhammer lore, and it's like, fuck. Again, about the shade of gold we're looking for, just a little bit. Like you can barely tell the difference, but you can see the glitter on my hand. That's about the shade we're looking for. I'm gonna put it in this camera. There you go. Now you can kind of see it. It's about the shade of gold we're looking for. Just a little tinge, not too much. We don't want our paintbrush soaking wet. That's how you end up with splats and splooshes and paint goblins, as I call them. Ooh, I got some gold on that black on her tubing. That's okay. I'm gonna go back once I get this other mini brush. I can go in there and clean this up. I really just want to make sure I hit these levels with detail. Brush back over that. Bring up some of this gold. Again, man, the cameras will never do justice how clean this shit looks. Boys, what are y'all doing back there? The gold is fantastic. I want to say, I'm good on the gold. I want to hold my breath. I think that I got enough of this gold down here. I'm gonna check my reference model here. I got both hips. Golden touch right up in this pocket here. That gold kind of sticks out against that red. I'm gonna go ahead and touch this here. Really want to make sure I get this here. Okay, so I want to say I'm good on my gold. I'm gonna sit that there, metallic gold. I do got some left over. I'm a cheap bastard. Whatever I don't use is going right back into my tube. Do that. Bam. Done with that. So we got our base coats down. Got a red and a gold. Red and rock and roll. Now it's time to really get into the detail work. Start doing these grays. Before I even put paint the brush the paint. I always pick out my brush first. I need to make sure I'm gonna get the right coverage. Not too much coverage, not too little coverage. I don't want to have spots I can't reach, and I don't want to have spots that are overpainting. It's extremely important to make sure you pick out the right brush for the job. All of that is great at the boots, in the back of the boot, in between the legs here, belt, tubes at her chest. We got a lot of silver we're gonna have to lay down. Let's get to work. I went with light gray. I don't know if I should go with light. I don't know if I really can trust light gray to show up the way I need it to. I don't know whether like it's gonna show up. I might actually have to pick a darker shade of gray. No. I got this. I'm just gonna go light gray, and then I'm gonna gently coat and come over it with some black, darken it up, and actually help add some of that dry gunmetal look to it, that dry steel look to it. Let's see if we can get going. If we start this gray, I'm gonna trust the paint. I'm gonna trust the brush. I'm gonna trust the figurine. Rule number one, that's such a key rule for me. Trust the figurine, trust the paint, trust the brush. Let the figurine work for me. But the paint worked for me. Again, this is a demonstration. You can see that gray contrast on my hand. That's about where I want to get that gray at. As a matter of fact, I actually want to start on this blade because this thing's been needing some touch longest time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gently, I'm also going to go over the teeth of the blade with this gray as well. There we go. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. This is going to be beautiful when it's all said and done. And I'm just gently going over it, gently hitting it with this gray. That's such a key component. Is how much pressure you're putting on your brush when you're doing this. I'm gonna keep the top of those blades here at the top. I want to keep those red so that way it's got kind of a blood stain look to it. Because I do want it to look like this blade was recently used. Also gonna add a little bit of red down here and a couple of splats down here, so it looks like there was blood dripping off of this blade. Just to kind of add some detail and give it a little bit of character. So it looks like this warrior was just out of combat. And hopefully you guys can see that. Again, we got just a off touch of gray at the base down here to really just give it a slightly worn look. And again, once I add that black and metallic silver over the top to kind of dust it, it'll really help set the tone how this is actually going to look. And again, I'm being as gentle as I can. I just really want to add some gray on these blades here. And I'm trying to be as soft as I can, almost like I'm brushing a baby's hair. Not too hard, not too crazy, because again, the blade is flimsy. And too much pressure may actually snap this thing in half, which is quite frankly what we don't want to happen. Now the challenge is going to be the main section of the blade, because that is such a color shift. If you look at the blade itself, it's a little blackish brown, but the gray stains kind of mixed at the bottom. So it's almost a two-tone. I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to two-tone it. I want to get this as accurate as I can here. I'm gonna go back in here, grab me some paint off my brush, draw this out. Then I'm just gonna gently go over that. Perfect. Now really start gently touching these blades. Silver. I really should make a couple of them red. I'm just going to use my finger here as leverage to keep this blade from moving too much. And also allow the paint to kind of adhere and keep this weapon from moving too much. Now, I don't have a reference for the interior portion of this blade, so I'm going to try to match it one for one best as I can. God, this is such a weird angle. Get this at. When there's a will, there's some kind of way to do it. Yeah, I'm not afraid to hit the blades. You need to hit the blades. The blades are mandatory for this. Just so it has the right tones, the right color shadings. And I know I've preached in previous videos, I really try not to get paint on the side of the brushes here. But in this case, in this scenario, because of the angle I had to get this at, I actually kind of would benefit from having just a little bit of paint built up around the edges. That way I'm not forcing myself to really get in there with the very tip of the paintbrush. It might cause me to snap something off or put a weird angle and really just not get paint where it belongs to begin with. And it's such an awkward angle. Luckily, thank God I'm ambidextrous. I'm left and right-handed. I kind of get the benefit of both sides here. I'm just gonna go back over that with just a little bit more gray, because that color shade did not pop. But I'm glad I did stick with the light gray. The light gray actually shows up pretty well. And that means that when that black and that metallic hit it, really add the depth and the shading. It's gonna be beautiful. Again, I'm gonna vibe check it on my hand and make sure the vibes on my paintbrush are immaculate. It's not too wet, it's not too dry. Let me sure it's great. That's right. I'm trying to get at an angle. You guys can kind of see it on the inside. You got just a little bit of gray in there. It probably should be a lot darker gray if I was going for shading and like accurate shadow casting. The inside of that blade would be a lot darker. Just because doing this as a prototype, really, I'm gonna take a little bit more liberty and really get in here. It could be darker, but again, Not gonna go with shadow casting. That's the basis of my color scheme here. As much as I just want to be accurate as hell. Y'all gotta give me. There you go. Give me some music, yo. Put me in the vibe. Perfect. All right, so now it's time to start really working this belt, the midsection, getting the inner thighs, these middle portions here from the photo. Gonna really just hammer this home here. I do got some gold and a little bit of red that did touch this belt. But with the power of dry brushing, I can essentially erase that. There we go. Now we got a playlist. Let's get. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to paint against the grain to really get the gray to stick and pop. I'm probably going to go over it with a little bit more paint on the brush. Really help drive home this gun silver here. Once I hit it gently with that black and that silver, it's really going to start to stick out. Like in the photo, but not so much that it overwhelms the actual natural detail here. Yeah, we got just a little bit of that gray. And it's kind of starting to show up just a little bit here. Ideally, I will have my sponge right here ready with some water on it. I'm gonna reactivate this paintbrush. Unfortunately, I forgot to change my sponge out. So it still has some red in there from yesterday. All the red we had to do with the OG body color here. So my damp sponge is actually kind of soaked in red. So anytime I dab my paintbrush in that, it literally just picks up red. So it's like, all right, it cut me another piece of sponge out. Again, we can see the vibe check on our hand here. We got a little bit of gold mixed with gray. That's about the shade we're looking for. We're gonna get this paintbrush as dry as we can. I'm just gonna go over our palette here. And I know a lot of artists use a microfiber cloth. I kind of like the cardboard. I really do. It helps me dry the brush out, but not so much that I can't use anything with it. Gotta be really careful at getting this inner portion of the thigh. I don't want to get this gray everywhere, but I do need the pop. I do need to show up, and I do need to have some contrast. And this is where these paint markers are probably going to end up coming in handy, because there's a few spots in here, like right in between the knees, that aren't a catastrophic miracle. Oh yeah. The OG art looks more cyberpunk than 40K. I kind of see. I'm such a new the Warhammer. I'm still trying to really grasp the scale of what Warhammer is, because it's something that's kind of been in the background and I'm familiar with culturally. And it's, as a nerd, you kind of know about Warhammer. I don't know Warhammer. Kind of watched a few deep dive videos yesterday explaining the lore of Warhammer, and holy shit, I see why so many people like it. It's a fantastic franchise, and the lore is absolutely insanely deep. But being like 2 gazillion miles, well, not miles, like 20 years behind the Warhammer, is so much ground to cover. And it's like, fuck, am I gonna pick this up? Hell, I'm just now I'm just getting like Warframe to a point where it's like, oh, okay, I kind of understand what's going on. And it's like, oh yeah, here's a 20-year-old franchise, or actually longer than that. Warhammer's been around. Warhammer's been around since like the 80s, has it not? 80s, 90s? And it's like, shit, man. There's so much lore to catch up on. So, we're kind of getting there. We're getting there. Again, it's gonna be dope as shit when I hit it with the metallic and then dust it with the black. But yeah, this is some fan art I found on Twitter, dude. And I was like, this shit looks so fucking fire. I gotta see if I can turn this into a 3D model and then print it. I mean, to be honest, I've been in Warhammer 4K for like 5 years though. Hell yeah. Like I've been in the Warhammer. Yesterday's the most I've ever actually dug into Warhammer. I played a few of the games on Game Pass. I'm like, okay, this shit's fire, but I don't get what the fuck's going on. All I know is I'm killing heretics. Quite frankly, that's the only initiative I need. We got a non-believer. Shut him down, boys. We got a heretic. He pours his milk before his cereal. Got a heretic. That would be me in the streets. Everyone would be a heretic. But the little bit of lore I absorbed yesterday was just like, fuck, dude, this is insanity. But it's kind of right up my alleyway. Now again, the back side of this model, I don't have a lot to work with because I'm going 2D to 3D. So the back side of this model, I'm kind of sort of just taking some liberties with. Freestyling this shit, really and truly. I really hate this model got so scuffed. I really hate this model got scuffed. We kind of got that. I want to get this touch right here. Warhammer game you played before. I played Dark Tide and I played Space Marines, like the OG one that they put on Game Pass. Dark Tide was fun as fuck. Dark Tide is awesome. Dark Tide was fantastic. I played as a psychic and I'm like, oh, this is it. And then I kind of learned the lore of the psychics and I'm like, oh man, kind of tough. It's kind of tough, bro. I'd have picked the most cursed class available. Like, oh no. Maybe I should have picked in a brute. At least I'd be big, dumb, and strong. Fuck, I'm gonna get yeeted into the abyss and sacrificed. You know what? For the Emperor, man. For the Emperor. Literally made it unplayable for a bit. Oh, that sucks. I want to get back into it, man. I was playing it with my brothers and my friends, and unfortunately, my entire friend group, we don't have ADHD, so it was like, yeah, we're gonna play this game for fucking a month straight and then not touch it for 2 years, and then randomly come back to it and be like, why do we stop playing this? I feel like my entire friend group, we all share one brain cell. Same shit keeps happening with Warframe. It's like, oh, we keep playing Warframe for months at a time, and then it's like 8 more months we won't touch it. And then we get obsessed with some random game, random franchise, goes really cool. Then it's like, whatever happened to Warframe? And then we all go back to it like, oh yeah, man, you're fun as shit. Can I get? Gonna need more. Gonna need more paint. That is going to be more pain for me. And I don't know how much gray I actually need to chunk of that good gray. Honestly, I'm really torn on the gray. I really want to get the paint markers and just color in the gray sections just to make that metal some kind of contrast. But I want to keep the coloring and the color themes the same. I don't want to deviate too much because it'll look weird. You got bright colors here, dark recessed colors there. I want to keep this as consistent as possible across the board. Perfect amount of gray on the brush. You'll be able to theoretically back of this calf. I'm just gonna brush away from that red, away from the gold. Really get it right up in here. That's coming out kind of white. Large scales. Colors really aren't getting the way I was anticipating. Oops. You should try Vermintide too. I think I played Vermintide because it's on Game Pass. I started that one, but for some reason I just never finished it. I couldn't really get anyone to play it with me. It was on I think it's on Game Pass. I think. I know one of those is on Game Pass. I did like the first mission of it. Because that's the one where you start off, you gotta save like the druid or something. Or what it was. I think I know which one you're talking about though. I did play that one for a little bit. Oh, these details. Oh, these details. Pushing the very limits of my painting capability. Way I really gotta work up in here and get this. You gift it to your friends so they play with you? Hell yeah. Sound like me and my brother. He's like, you gotta play this. Here, open up Xbox, download it now. The log on. Speaking of which, I wonder where that little knucklehead is. I don't know if he's back in town yet. He's running on with me, shooting this. I want to say this section is supposed to be gray. Matter of fact, I know this section is supposed to be gray, right? Yeah. I gotta get the gray. And I gotta be so meticulous about this. And this is what they don't show you in the painting videos, the meticulousness of having to get these itty bitty, teeny tiny little nooks and crannies where it's like, my brush is really gonna fit in there. And this is why brush selection prior to doing any painting is damn near detrimental. You gotta do it. I hate when I get into a painting and it's like, oh no, my brush is way too big and I really need to get these little areas. There's no way I can do it because I don't want to have to clean my entire brush set. I really don't. I normally have two big brushes, two big brushes, two small brushes, just to make sure like I have a constant clean rotation going. The brushes, God knows. That's another thing people don't tell you about. Is cleaning your brushes is just, it's truly pain. It's truly pain. And it takes damn near as much patience as actually painting these damn figurines. Okay, I gotta get the bottom of the boot. Very tip right here, just a tip. Also, I gotta hit the base of this with gray too, but I'm probably gonna do the base last. If I get some gray down here on the base, I'm not tripping too hard because it's actually gonna be gray as well. This is just a way for me to get kind of a head start on that portion. Trim the boot. Yes, I fucking can. And I can still get the base as well. So it's win, hard to fucking lose situation here. A quick update so you guys can actually see what the hell I'm doing here. We kind of got the grays laid down. It's really not going to show until I do the metallic gray and then lay the black on top of it. That looks almost white. That might be too light of a gray, but exactly what I want. Again, I'm going to lay that metallic silver over the top to give it the flair. I did print the model myself. I made this model and printed it. And this is in my Patreon, which should be probably linking pretty soon in my rotation. STL files are available. If anybody wants to print this, they can have the fuck at it. Yeah, hopefully, I tried to set it up so that way it is universally printable. So if you got a Bamboo Lab or anything like that, you can still print. Because I have a Flash Forge Adventurer, and I know that and Bamboo, they're a little bit different. When I go download certain files, like off of Maker World or printables, I normally have to change stuff around, especially in the support region. That was, well, I haven't printed the Carnage yet from Spider-Man. Holy shit, the Carnage from Spider-Man that somebody made, I'm painting that for me. I don't give a fuck. I'll paint it and sell it if somebody wants it, but that, when I get that one printed, that's going on the shelf. That's going on the shelf. Point blank period. Like, that Carnage is so fucking sick. And I'm gonna print that bad boy as big as humanly possible. But yeah, a Patreon's got everything. I have a couple of Warframe models. This one I just put up 2 nights ago. What else? I don't think I put Saber Wolf on Killer Instinct. I kind of want to redo that one in general, but I do have a bunch of models available that are exclusively mine. I wanted to put up the black superhero I did for my buddy, but he's like, "No, man, that's a 1-for-1, bro. You can't drop that." I'm like, all right. Since I made that exclusively for you, I won't drop it for now. Let me get the back of this calf. As much as I like this model, all the things I painted is not quite in my top 10 yet. Still, the favorite thing I painted was Verena for Warframe, and Ureli, which I actually gave away to a TikTok viewer a couple of days ago. This little right. By the way, guys, if you're new here, make sure you hit the follow button. I have paint streams, game streams, got everything you need. If you're new here, we have fun here. Let's see if I can dust his shoe. Her shoe, my bad. But this gray here, really want to kind of touch it. I don't mind if I get the base. I actually really prefer to get the base while I'm getting the shoes. So Probably gonna hit the inside of her knees in this trim. I can't quite get the brush in there. I'm probably gonna hit that with the paint markers too, just to add, again, just a little contrast. Okay, I want to work my way up her chest. The flap right here, her chest is gray and black. So I'm gonna flick up and hit that one. And then I gotta get underneath her arm too. Which the camera was a bit clearer so I could see the model more clearly. Which one? Yeah, my lighting in my office is pissed. Like, it truly is. I literally have about 8 fucking lights like surrounding me, and none of them are doing shit. So I do apologize. Like, I literally am surrounded by light, and this is like, fuck. See if I can kind of get this back in the camera here. I do know my lighting is like, ugh. Hopefully that detail's kind of shining through a little bit better. But yeah, the gold, I mean, the gold is beautiful, man. And it's just never gonna really shine through with my shitty ass office lighting. It's actually a goddamn miracle I can paint. I want to hit, it's right here in her arm. Very difficult, yeah. Let's see. Fuck. Have any extra light source in here? You know what? Let me see if I can. What if? Dang. Trying to get some better lighting in here, but fuck, bro. Even that's not enough. Like, yeah, lighting in the entire fucking house is shit. My girlfriend's office is fucking dark as shit. My office is dark as shit. I'm gonna put a nuclear reactor in my office so that way I can actually have some bright, usable light. Don't worry though, I'm gonna be dropping some pictures here in the future real soon so everyone can actually get a genuine look at what this damn thing looks like. It's cloudy as fuck outside too, so that's not helping. I have no natural lighting running through here. Too much paint, paint job. Let's try to get this section here is going to be difficult. Her bicep is flesh colored, so I can't get too aggressive. Gotta leave a little bit of room. Get her bicep as well. Really tap that. And then there's a section that is a steel cage. Hey, peace out. Thank you so much for the follow, man. Have a good day, homie. Let's get this bicep right here. Yeah. Really want to have some contrast in the metal flesh tone. And I get a Okay, just enough of this. Bicep. And then I'm gonna hit the back of the arm. I think the back of the arm is gray too. Right here, we got some metal bits and pieces here. He's half man, half machine, all badass. Don't know how the back of the arm's supposed to actually look. So again, I'm just gonna use a little bit of creative expression here. I'm just gonna go ahead and paint that with this gray. I actually don't know what the back of the arm is supposed to look like because I'm working on a 2D image. I kinda wing it and wing it. Really get it up in there. Same thing with this arm here. I don't quite know. Actually, I think that's supposed to be flesh tint. That's cool. We'll just have a contrast right there to help signify how fleshy that's supposed to be. Okay. Just a quick update. So you guys can actually see this. Just that silver on that blade. I keep wanting to call it a gun blade. It's just a straight blade. And we got it down pretty accurately. I really need to hit it with the I really wanted to hit it with some brightness. I really wanted to get that as bright as the photo, but I know my paint style is not going to allow for that to happen. Okay. What's next? I need to get the vent right at the base of her stomach. Actually, have a gray. I did not have enough gray. Dry as shit. If I can get a little bit of color on this bad boy. I don't know. I just want a pinch. I mean, just a pinch. Lightest bit. I was saying yesterday in yesterday's live stream, I want a pet Tyranid. That's what I want. I want me a pet Tyranid. I want me an emotional support Tyranid. That way, if someone makes me upset, I can just sick them and just eat their flesh. I don't know how well that gray is going to show up on this red. Going up, but not a lot. You know what? Fuck it. This is gonna be red. I want to get these tubes right around her face. Really bring that up. Really add some life. Highlight these tubes here. I really gotta get up in here. Oh, that's wonderful. There's another fan art someone sent me. Yu-Gi-Oh! Of Dark Magician Girl that I might end up doing in a couple of weeks as well, just kind of for fun. Just as a challenge to myself. And if you're watching and you got fan art, feel free, hit me up on Twitter, Blue Sky, all the links should be popping up in a rotation here. I like challenging myself, and I think making fan art into real models is really fucking cool. It's one thing to draw something, but it's another thing to draw something I had that drawing where you could physically hold in the 3D space. And I think that is cool as shit. This playlist is it. And I feel like every painter needs that. A dope playlist, blunt, maybe a beer, and just some immaculate vibes. See if I can get these tubes all the way around the back of her head. Awesome. All right, quick update. Got the gray around her tubings, her waist. I'm trying to see how well that gray is showing up on her biceps. In hindsight, all right, add a little bit more texture to that. Again, I'm gonna hit it with the metallic gray, silver, but then I'm gonna come back and hit it with and just froth dust it with black. So that way it'll have a little bit more detail. And really kind of match the rest of the model. I think the only thing that's really gonna be flat is the flesh tone. And I mean, like, that's gonna be truly a flat color. I still got a little bit more chest work to do right here at the top. Also got to remember, I got to get underneath her arms. Underneath her arms is also metallic gray. Can I work that? Can I work this angle? Just right underneath her armpit. And my brush in here. I'm just gonna lightly dust that with some gray. Really kind of work up in here. And even with this brush, a little too big. One more quick look. The gray's kind of showing up just a little bit. It'll look a little bit better once I get that black dust on it. Okay. I'm gonna get the spaces in between the shoulder pads. Right here. Tank needs some gray and black added to it. And truly, oh, probably the hands and her fingers could use a little bit of black and gray as well. I'm gonna try and do it all with this one paintbrush. From gray silver to a rustic black. You know what I didn't hit with the gold? I don't think hard enough. Back of her gloves, the back of her hands. I can probably use another coat of gray on that too. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. That's fine. We'll make this work. That's the joy of being an artist. You just gotta make it work. Take what you got and just fucking make it work. Alright, so I'm gonna start working these shoulder pads up a little bit. Adding some gray, adding a lot of details to these shoulder pads. got a decent coat of gray on. Still gonna work the top of this. I'm not even gonna do a lot of actual brushing. I'm just gonna try and manage this over. Take this over. Just rotate that paintbrush as I'm doing that. So I get a decent coverage, decent coat of gray gently being laid on this. I'm just gonna gently lay that gray on there. I'm gonna come to the other side, do the exact same thing. Really want to lay some of this gray on here, real nice and smooth. Now see, this is something I would have done in California out on the streets. Get me some paint and just set up shop. And just sit somewhere and just paint. And just sell whatever the fuck I'm painting. That actually would have been a really cool idea. Unfortunately, all this was not available back then. That's beautiful. You guys can probably actually see the detail from the top camera view. Matter of fact, I've been playing around with this camera. Probably could whip it around. See, the secondary camera. I'll put that up. Let's do this. I'm trying to see if I can actually get a camera angle that actually will help motherfuckers see what it is I'm doing. Hopefully that actually has some better lighting. Now you guys should actually be able to see. Like I said, I got like 20 damn lights set up. Now we can actually see it a little bit better. So where is my gray brush? My size 2, check. Hopefully I can actually see better now. My office lights are. So I think my girlfriend might have texted me. Yep. Chat, give me 2 seconds. Let me put on some coffee for the missus. Leave this here so you guys can marvel at the awesomeness that is this figurine. I will be right back, guys. Okay, great. Great color scale. All right, hopefully. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this section off with light gray. I'm still gonna hit the tank with this light gray as well. That should be enough gray. In the ideal world, that's enough. In the ideal world, that's enough gray to actually work. Let's see. Still can't stream on TikTok. So let's go ahead and draw out our brush. Yeah, I just want to check that on my hand, make sure that's not too wet. Ooh, I'm probably not gonna be able to get these mini spots right here in between, because that's not gonna, even with size 2 paintbrush, it's not gonna work. So that's probably gonna get reserved to the markers. Whatever I can't get, it's gonna have to get reserved to the markers. So I'm going to go ahead and get the detailing in this tank right here. Done. It's got a little bit of life now. It's actually starting to show signs of really good detail work. And it's slowly coming together. Let's see. Might need a little more paint. I might need just a little more paint to really get this in here. Shit. I truly do have some god-awful lighting. Jesus Christ. Even I can't really see. There we go. Give me something to work with here. Can we get this gray? We can. We got just enough to kind of work in there. Again, I'm gonna gently brush this because I don't want to get the red. I don't want that red getting on my brush. Not for my gray. Really just want to make sure I emphasize that a bunch as I'm painting this. Gray enough down. The inside of the tank right here actually might be the easiest part to paint. Just wiggle my brush around and really just work it. Just really work the inside of that paint brush. Right up in here. Man, I love being left and right-handed. really makes this job a little bit easier. Bam. I have not figured out, because the backside of this tank here is nothing in the photo that actually shows that. So I'm gonna go silver, metallic, and then gunmetal it. Just kind of as my, I'm just gonna wing it. I have nothing to do the bottom of this tank with. If it was up to me, I probably would have removed it, just to kind of give it something. Definitely need more gray. Let's do, let's brush out. That should be enough. I'm just gonna, again, work a really good coat. More of this, and try and really set this to transition into a metallic silver and black shade. And the biggest challenge of this is just lack of detail in this particular part right here. Not a lot going on. So I'm gonna have to make that into something interesting. What, I don't know. How, I don't know. But I'm gonna have to make that into something at least eye-catching. It's a little too big to ignore. Again, I just kind of want to go back over these blades, make sure I got them. I also, because I'm gonna go black the gunmetal on the hands, so whatever hands I can get, whatever part of the hand is exposed, I'll go ahead and prep that with some gray too. I'm putting just a little bit more pressure than usual on this brush. Really help it, let this paint land. Because there's a clear contrast between the gloves and the hand, and I really want to make sure I get that. Actually, I'm going to paint away from the blade, from the sword, so that way I don't get any of this gray on it by mistake. And I just want to get it right at the knuckles, really right at that knuckle, just to kind of give it a sense of it's its own separate part of her hand. Means I'm gonna have to go over this little section right here a couple of times. I'm just gonna brush it a little bit harder than usual. Not too hard to snap it, but just hard enough to really make sure this gray is getting over this brush. And then vibe check it. Paintbrush is a little dry. Come in here, wet it just a bit. Vibe checking on my hand. Coming off nice and dry. Looks good, feels good. I'm gonna go back in here, coat number 2, and a little bit more of that gray, help it stick out its own independent color. We have some kind of indication. And I'm just really brushing away from the blade. I don't want to get this gray an already pre-established color. And I'm really just trying to have faith in the paint and some of the colors that I've already used and some of the techniques I've already used. Deep down, I'm like, it's not quite as vibrant as I want it to be. Then also have to remember that we're near done. The back of this hand here. And I just want there to be a clear distinction between the hands and the gloves, just as we see on the character here. Only anything untouched, unpainted, nothing. And a little something right here. Okay, boom, we got that. All right, what other gray bits do we have? The back of this should technically be gray right in there, but I'm not worried about that. Just getting behind that is going to be insanity. There's a few things on the helmet that are missing from the photo, but I'm not overtly worried about it. I do need to get this little mouthpiece right here. I'm not even going to brush it. I'm just going to piffle it. I'm just going to poke it. You know what? Paint marker that bad boy. That's all I got the paint markers for. Itty bitty teeny little details. Okay. So I feel like we got our first coat of silver down. And now I'm kind of ready to go ahead and lay down that metallic on top. And then come back and lay down that very soft, very subtle black to add. I'll scoop that extra paint back in here because, you know, the paint I can get, all the paint I can keep. But I'm going to see if I can't add just a pinch of silver to it just to bring this bad boy to life. And then I'm going to come back and just gently crop dust it with the black. Now, you know what? Really torn on this blade. I know how I'm going to do it though. I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing in gray. A little bit of gray up off of it. I'm going to do the whole blade in gray. And then as I tone it, add the colors to it, I'm going to fade it. Fade it down, fade it out. That way it kind of matches the tone here in the picture. I feel like, yeah, I'm just gently dusting it. I'm not even lifting the paintbrush like that. I'm just really dusting this thing. Nothing crazy, nothing too heavy. Really dusting it. And then I'm gonna go just any bit of little nook and cranny right there. Then we'll come back to this side. Try to do the same thing. Ooh, I ain't got enough paint on the brush for that. So I'm actually gonna need just a pinch. I'm just squirting onto the brush what I need. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw my brush out. Okay, still a little too wet and streaky. Okay. Just really want to get the inside of this here. Again, we got the whole blade just kind of covered in a soft gray. And as I get darker and darker and heavier into the colors, I'm just really going to lay a contrast over that. Matter of fact, I need to get the blade too, the handle. I'm just going to really just softly touch that bit. Handle, I'm probably gonna leave this a little bit dark and on the dull side. I actually might not hit it with the silver. Gently touch it at the top. Let's go. Let's get a little bit more on the underside of that because that does not have enough paint. I gotta again be real gentle with this handle. Again, it did come off after I printed that, and that's actually super glue. I don't want to be too rough on that blade. Okay. I feel like I got that down. Oh well, I'm gonna get it. And extra paint away. I want to say I'm done with my silver for now because I got the base coats down for silver, and really the last thing we got to do is the flesh tones for just fleshy bits, and then the base. Base should really only take about 5 minutes. I feel like we got decent coverage around. I'm gonna go ahead and dry out my brush. Make sure I get all of excess paint out. I just want to go over a couple of things. Really make sure I got it before I move on to my metallic. I'll make sure I get as much of this right as possible. Okay. We're hitting the final stretches of this gray section here. I'm gonna go ahead and lay down this metallic here, metallic silver, to really help hammer it home, and then I'm gonna come back and hit it with the gray. Kind of give it a gunmetal metallic look. A lot of this is actually just coated with metallic. Red's metallic, the gold's metallic. But it only makes sense to keep that same consistency throughout our figurine here and our statue. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Obvious as fuck. Bits of bolts right here in the suit of armor. I can't believe I missed that. God dang it. It's okay. I'll come back and hit that in a second. That is like super duper pivotal. Looks like a really big detail. Now I'm just gonna hit it with this metallic. This metallic is just gonna add some sauce, some flavor to it a little bit. That metallic is like seasoning, man. I just sprinkle a little bit on it, man. And it's like this whole thing goes into different level. And like I said, once I go back over this with that gunmetal, that black, it's gonna look completely different. Don't really have much. Oh, a little something over here. Not enough paint. Let's go ahead and grab a little bit more silver. Let's not be afraid of it. I grabbed that shit like I was terrified. Now we're cooking. And again, I'm just gonna very lightly touch this up and really darken that up. I really just want to get highlight and glitter on it from this metallic silver. I really want to get that metallic home and make sure it's got the same flare, the same shine as our gold and our red. Quick update. We can kind of sort of see it taking shape. Starting to really take hold. I'm going to work the hip region here. Really make sure I get that silver in there so it's not dull on the hips. Damn, I love how good of a figurine this actually turned out to be. Okay. And really, matter of fact, I'm gonna start working the shoes. Let me actually get something that's silver. See how our silver looks. It's pretty good. And again, this metallic silver is just a little bit darker. So we're just gently laying layer lines, the layers to this paint. Next time I print this, I'm just not going to scuff any of it. I'm not even going to sand it. I'm just going to let it be however it comes off the printer. Certain parts of this are just like, I didn't get it right. Or I over sanded certain parts. Putting just a little bit of pressure on my brush because I really want to make sure I get it. Yep. Okay. Need a little bit more of that silver. Work that out the brush. I'm going to use real soft, real gentle strokes. Really cover this in some silver. I think. You all right? Really tap that with some silver. You okay? Yeah, I'm just really trying to work this section. Okay. So we got a little silver added to the other leg here. I'm trying to see if we can really spot the difference. Lighting is so bad though. God, the lighting in my office is rough. Like I'll have to get like a flash grenade every time I live stream. Just so I can see and other people can see, because holy shit. Maybe it'll show up a little bit better on this cam. You got some of that metallic showing up. Yeah, it's showing up a little bit, but not quite the way the camera should be able to pick it up. Make sure we get all our excess paint out of the brush. Vibe check. Vibes look immaculate. I'm gonna go ahead and get this with this metallic silver. Again, the way this silver is actually darkening this up is actually really fucking awesome. Touch that. I think the back of the knee is supposed to be metallic too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my discretion here. Back pocket. I just want to really touch on the shoe. We got that. Of course, you gotta get the bicep region. This little section right here. Paint off the brush. Put this metal guard right here to arm. Now we got some silver to work with. Go ahead and get this region right here. A little bit of silver metallic highlight to that. How much metallic did we get on that? Feel pretty good about that. But still gotta get the blade, the hand, tank, the shoulder pads. Fine. Long. Yep. I dropped my paintbrush and make a mess. See. Put just a little bit underneath the arm here. Really work this silver out. Give it some depth, some punch. You know what? I technically should have went over this with some gray. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go over that with some gray. That even that metallic is not even showing up. That's how powerful this matte black base color is. It's like, damn, even the metallic silver's not even showing up. Gonna gently get right in here with this silver. Really want to highlight that. Again, like I really wish the lighting was better so you can actually see the difference between the two. You probably can. You can tell that was a little bit brighter than that shoulder blade there. The way that contrasting light. Just gonna hit this with some metallic. A little bit more. Almost done with our metallic gray, and then we're gonna might shift focus towards flesh tone. Really start working on getting the thigh and the bicep region. That way the full scope of this model can be recognized. Let's get the shoulder pad right here. This week, I'm really gonna have to work on getting some lighting in this office with these paint streams, because ooh, this ain't it, Chief. Boom, we got that. I'm gonna have to go back with some light silver and come back and get the bolts and the lug nut sitting here on the armor. That's fine. That shouldn't really take that long. I'm gonna gently touch that real quick. And I'm just gonna get right inside this pocket, right inside of this pocket. Get some metallic. All that's gonna be painted pretty much done black. Just a tick. I really just crazy. Then very gently, I'm gonna go back with the black. Really add that gun detail to it. So let's shift our focus to getting this right here. Okay, we got a little bit of silver on that. And now I'm gonna really work on getting some silver on this. That silver is really going to be the key to making this whole color scheme work. Really want to make sure I get that silver in here. Just enough. Make sure I don't have any paint on my finger too, because I'm notorious for touching paint in places with my fingers where paint doesn't belong. Boom. really am counting on the silver popping. Like, I'm really counting on this metallic silver carrying a lot of weight. Really counting on this silver to really be the star of the show. Also need to get a bag of this. I know I got this with silver. I don't know how that's so dark. Hell, I know I got the back of the arm in that steel tube. Let's try that again, because that did not. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. There we go. I need the silver to pop. Counting on this silver. Really do a lot of heavy lifting. Just metallic. Counting on this. I don't know if I should put so much stock in the single color, but I'm counting on that silver. And I really just want to hit this one more time. I still gotta hit the fingers, the hands, and this gun blade, which I am going to work right now. Sure. Perfect. So now I really want to work this blade. Heavy emphasis on the silver at the very base of this model. Again, I'm just really gently dragging it. Now, to make this color stick out, I'm really going to emphasize a whole lot of metallic silver on the very base of this blade to really get that highlight on a whole lot of silver. The whole thing is going to be covered in metallic silver and then brush back over with the black, dull it down and really give it a gunmetal gray kind of shade. But I want the very base of the blade here to match what we see up there on screen. There's a lot of emphasis if you look at it. Very base of this blade. So I actually might make two passes to really help drive home that particular detail. That's the vibe check. A little bit more silver down here on the bottom. Oh, is this really the playlist with that song on it? No. That is my jam. Again, I want to add as much metallic silver to the bottom to differentiate. And then I'm going to come back and hit the rest of it. A very soft coat. I'm really careful. I swear to God, it feels like this blade, and it feels like it's breaking. I hate that. And I will crash the fuck out if I get this far into this paint job and this gun blade snaps. It feels like it did. It low-key feel like it did. Ooh, it low-key feel like it snapped. And not in the really cool, go off honk kind of thing. Snap. Ooh. It ain't supposed to do that kind of snap. Bam. A little bit more metallic. Now the interior of the sword, I'll probably be a little bit more free about the level of metallic I put on that. Take a little bit of liberty with the interior of that. Back this off. Let's take that brush, really making sure I'm getting this metallic off of here. Again, I don't know how well you guys can see that. I hope you guys can see that pretty. Okay. Gently hit it with that metallic. Really give it a highlight. Well, now we can kind of see it. You can kind of see the detail, hopefully. At the very base of that blade. A lot of metallic there. So when we go back with the black, it's got enough room to shine. That's the key thing, is I want to make sure that black has enough room to lay down, but at the same time that metallic still has the room it needs to shine. I don't want to overwhelm it. So we want to say, okay, I still need to go back and hit some light gray on these chest bolts here real quick. And then we'll be done with the gray, and we'll be rounding the fucking corner. This thing is almost done. I'm gonna add a little bit of red to the blade at this very end here. Probably add just a little bit of red just to emphasize maybe it's been used. And put a little bit of red down here on the base plate to make it look like blood splatter. I gotta wash my hands. 2 seconds, chat. I am biggity bad. Well, let's get the last bit of silver laid down, and then we can slowly start introducing this black. But let me get some of that flesh tint started. I have no idea how exactly I'm going to do it. There's no metallic shade human color. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that's going to work. Let's add our metallic or our light gray to this. Go ahead and highlight that. Well, I still don't know how the hell I missed this the first go around. I'm gonna find the itty bitty little bolt right there. This itty bitty little bolt right here. That gray is probably gonna touch a little bit of that gold, but I'm not gonna trip too hard over that. What I'm really worried about is color coverage. That's enough of that. Yeah, I just want to add some detail and highlight to it. I'm gonna come back real quick. Gently hit it with metallic. Again, let's hit it with some metallic. Really help bring that shade up. A little bit more. Let's add a little bit of metallic and just let those two colors combine. Let that dry itself out. All right, just a quick update. We've got our metallics laid down, silvers, primary colors are already in here. Look at that grays in here now. Oh, I gotta hit the back of that bag too. Oof. I don't know how the hell I missed that. Where? Really none of my P's and Q's today. So let's do really want to get some metallic on this part. Bring out some silver on this. Yeah, I just really want to go ahead and get the essence. Let's dry out this brush. Second jaw. Oh, we got some silver on that. And real gently. And I've got to find a better way to print this. So that way it doesn't, not so scuffed. Now, I know I've said that a gazillion times, but the back of this thing really look like it got obliterated. And it's just more a support issue than a user issue, me being work. So now we got a silver down packed. Real quick update. Now I'm gonna go back over it with that black. Gotta craft dust it to get that black gunmetal shade that we're looking for. You see what I mean in the back? Supports came off, supports got stuck. I tried to sand it and really kind of bleed it in, but it's like, that didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. So the next main tone I really had to worry about is going to be the flesh tone. I think we're good with that metallic and that silver for right now. The black, I can go back and I can hit with my size 4. Do I want to though? No. In this one, I could go back and hit it with that, but I only have large brushes left, my 8 and my 10, which I want to use for the base. And this 4, I'm probably going to use for flesh tone. That 4 I'm going to use for the flesh tone and the biceps. I'm not going to sell myself out yet on a short brush. I don't want to do that quite yet. I'm going to clean this out with some rubbing alcohol really quick. And I like the rubbing alcohol because the rubbing alcohol activates so quick and it helps get all this paint out of here. At the same time, it dries so quickly. Basically, we can go right back into it. That's going to be fine. I'm going to let that size 2 brush dry. Real question is, how do I want to approach the flesh tone? So I really just got to get the thighs, which is the biggest part of flesh tone. The thighs and the biceps are the only thing that's flesh toned. So for this, I can use my size 8 paintbrush and then leave my 10 for metallic and silver for this floor. I'm not worried about that because it's such a large area. I'm going to need a large brush to really get it. So I'm going to trust my gut. And I'm going to go with this flesh tone. Matter of fact, I think I got a spot right down here. Flesh 10. I've used this once. I think I used this with Vegeta. When I did my Vegeta, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I really like that. How well I'm gonna get this color down. I'm gonna try. Flesh tone is all we're missing. That's about right. That's about right. Yeah, that's about right. That's about pinkish flesh tone we're looking for. I'm going to keep my light gray and metallic here. I'm going to come back and hit that with the floors. So it looks like she's standing on a metal grate. I'm going to back you up. I really don't want to smack the shit out of this damn thing and break that blade. Oh. I'm actually going to save this playlist. So that way I got to keep coming back to it. All right. So let's get our flesh paint down. Once we get the flesh paint, this whole thing is going to come together. Once we get the thighs and the bicep painted, it's going to come together. Yeah, and I just want to get this excess paint out of here. I'm trying to really get a look at that staying on, because once this goes down, I don't know how much more salvaging we could do. I'm just gonna have to roll with whatever color this shows up as. Yeah, nice clean circular motions. Gently getting that paint to, in here. Get the top of the thigh. I'm gonna take a couple of passes for this to really get to where it needs to get to. I've never been a fan of flesh tone. I don't know why. I don't like the tone. I don't like it. It's never quite right. And if you're a painter watching this, give me some tips. What do you guys use for flesh tone? How you guys get the flesh tone down? I'm just not a fan. Really not a fan. That's what I worry about, is getting some of that flesh tone and other things. It's going to take a lot of layers to build this flesh tone up. I can tell that immediately. We're going to go right back in here. I'm just going to go ahead and just get a little greedy. I'm going to grab a chunk of paint. Oh man, that was a victory bell on my Pokemon chat. That's really hate I missed that. Alright, check. Flesh tone looks pretty good. We're gonna hit it again. I'm just gonna build this tone up as best we can. This is gonna need help. Gonna need a lot of help to really come through. I'm gonna have to really color scheme this correctly. Flesh tint by itself is not the move. Flesh tint is nice. It doesn't have enough punch to stand on its own. That's really the problem. It just doesn't have the punch. Does not have that punch to stand on its own. As you guys can see, it just doesn't quite. It needs a little something to give it some depth. It's almost like it needs some seasoning to really help pick up whatever tone I'm missing here, because I'm clearly missing some tone. Even standing against that gray, it's not enough. Not quite enough to really stand out. And I don't know how I want to make that flesh tone pop. Because flesh tone is one of the few colors I'm just really not good with. And I can either go bright or I can go dark. And I'm kind of debating on how I want to do that. I'm really not even thrilled with the overall coverage. This flesh tone. Really focusing on bringing up the color, trying to get that to really stand on its own. That flesh tone can't do it. It cannot do it by itself. So I'm gonna have to bring in some type of assistant color, really help emphasize that this is flesh tone, because this looks almost yellow. really, really try to get this in here. And I'm not gonna lie, this might be one of the most difficult paint jobs I've ever had to do so far. Right behind Vegeta. Now the Vegeta print turned out clean, but the flesh tone color was a little hard to get my hands, or to get my shades right. The same thing we're having here with this. It's like, okay, I got flesh tone. This clearly is not enough. Yeah, I feel like flesh tone is really supposed to be matched with another color. Really help bring it out. Now I wonder if I should grab maybe a beige, or like a soft brown, something, anything to help differentiate this and really emphasize that, hey, this is flesh. This is human skin. Really, really not in love with that fucking tone. I'm really not. I get in here without fucking this damn blade up. It's such a almost a white color. Feels like a shade of white. A little bit more something. I get right here where this sword is. Again, this goes back to picking the right paintbrush size. That flesh tone is not it. This is such a hard one to color. That flesh tone is not. The flesh tone is not going to cut it by itself. That much is for sure. That flesh tone cannot stand here by itself. I'm gonna have to find something to match that with, and I might have to go burnt sienna. That's about how I got Vegeta right. It made him just a touch darker, but I'm like, you know what? Paste. Can we? Want to make sure I get this inner thigh region. Don't need too much blank here. Oh, I'm not in love with this color. I'm not in love with this color at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not in love with that color at all. So I'm gonna have to find something to make that flesh tone with. Because as you can see, it's a little off. Not built to stand on its own. It's such a weird color. It's damn near yellow. Okay. So before I freak the fuck out over 3 days of work looking like And before I get ready to yeet this thing into my local trash can, that's because of my dissatisfaction towards it. Because I like this, but I don't like it. And again, this is more so a model issue. Okay. So let me... I don't think I need... Ooh, I'm getting both sides out. Hey, chat. Let's get some black down, and then let's gently get our rays into that black zone where it's got just a soft gunmetal kind of shade to it. Let's get this. I'm going to gently add some black to this just so I can get this damn gunmetal tone that I'm looking for. I've done this before with my Spider-Man print that I did for my nephew for Christmas, so I kind of have an idea of what we're aiming for. Really just need just a touch of black, not a lot. And again, I'm just going to crop dust this just ever so gently, so it's got black highlights in it. So it's just a few shades of black. It doesn't necessarily have to be completely black, otherwise that defeats the entire purpose. But I'm just going to add just some very gentle black highlights just to give it some character. Again, you can kind of start to see it. Oh, well, it's going to pick up, but we're adding just a little bit of black in that pocket. I don't have the best lighting in the world. It's going to drive me nuts. I've said that a gazillion times. But I'm just going to add some very soft black in here. That way it's got a little bit of a contrast and a little bit of highlight to it. Again, soft pass. Look at that. We got just a little bit of black on that, but that silver highlight at the very end. And that's exactly what I was aiming for. Just give me predominantly gray, and then let me add a bunch of black to it. They kind of darken that tone up a little bit. Doesn't need to be too strong. If it's too strong, again, it kind of defeats the purpose of putting that gray in here. When it's like he could have just left it black. Okay. I'm just gonna, again, I'm just crop dusting this with some black. Nope. Okay, and again, it's really starting to deepen that tone, that gray up a lot. Okay, gonna add a little bit more black. Gonna draw and brush back out. 5, check that. Yeah, I'm gonna come back and hit this with just a pinch of. I don't want too much black. Otherwise, again, it defeats the purpose. I am gently, and I mean gently, like I'm combing a baby's hair, adding a teeny pinch of this black overtone. And you might actually be able to see it here compared to this side. And if you look at this side, we just added just a little pinch of black, and it's starting to really show a difference. How clean and shiny all that is. I'm just adding just a pinch of black to it to really give it a gunmetal kind of shine. To really just gently touch it. And I mean, like brushing a baby's hair, buttering a biscuit, I always say. Not a lot, but you just want to add just a touch of black to give it some tone. And actually give it some character. Again, now you can kind of see the difference. Here in the shoulder pads, we can kind of start to see where that black is kind of sitting on top of that gray, and it's really adding that rustic kind of gunmetal look to it. I don't know how well it's going to show up. We can see it on the blade too. You have pretty good coverage on that blade. Black to silver. If I need to, a push comes to shove, I can always go back and just sprinkle a little bit of gray on here if I got to. I'm gonna gently, just real quick, touch over that. Not a lot. I just kind of want to really get in there and just brush around it a little bit. I just want to darken that up. I still gotta figure out the flesh tone. That flesh tone's gonna drop fucking bananas until I get that right. That's really what's throwing this off. I could have left that. I want to do. Actually, I do. I'll take that back. I know how I'm gonna do that. First, let's get our black down back. Yeah, I'm gonna dust it off a little bit. Check it. Boom. Really good. Yeah, just gonna real soft, subtle passes. Really trying to add some dark hues to that silver. Give it just a little bit of that gun gray that we're looking for. Very gently touching it. Not too much, not too little. I'm trusting the brush, I'm trusting the paint to do the job for me. I'm not going to try to overcompensate for it. Again, I'm just going to real subtly poke that shoe. And it's a little something to it. Boom. And while I'm working that shoe, I'm trying to hold it so you guys can actually see it. So you guys can actually see that tone change in real time. And again, I'm just barely crop dusting with that black. And just adding some dark hue to that silver to help really emphasize that it really is a gunmetal. And it doesn't take a lot of paint to really get that gray to settle down with that black. You can just really I should probably put too much paint on my board here, but just a very subtle amount of black is really all you need. Like that, that's perfect. Again, I'm just tapping that. Getting the back of the knee, just adding this the subtlest, the smallest of touches. Again, I really want that black just sit on top of that gray. It doesn't need to overpower it. It just kind of needs to be there like, hey, I'm here too. I actually might have added too much to that. Did I actually get the inside? I did. Okay. I'm actually going to come back right here. Gently brush that. Again, I'm going to get right here on the hands. Add a little bit of black to give the hands some characteristic here. And just a sense of style to the hand. Not too much black, just a little drop dust. If you add too much black, you pretty much undid everything you've already done. Okay, now it's gonna hit the tubes right here on top. And again, wet my brush for just an inch of black. I don't want too much. You want the same amount of black as people say when they're like 2% black. I'm 2% black. That's the kind of black you want. 2% black. Ain't wet enough. All this excess paint out. Worth that. Got a paint goblin. A little clump of paint I didn't even see in there. Perfect. And again, I'm gonna try my best. I really gotta work on my lighting in here. Gonna real gently work that softly over. Real softly with the currently tap that. And again, we got just the subtlest of black on that. Just a little. What happened? Just a subtle blackness in here. I love how my light keeps dying too. God, I really gotta get some better lighting in this office. And I'm gonna sure I see that black kind of just laying on top, which is perfect. And then I'm just gonna gently crop dust this with a little bit of black, darken that tone. And I can see it. I can see it really. It's the subtlest tone of black really will help. Sure. Again, it's a real gentle touch. Also, right up in here. Perfect. It's a little black activating with that silver makes all the difference in the world. And it still keeps that metallic kind of tone to it, as long as you don't overpaint it. And that, fantastic. Again, it's gonna crop dust that. Came out really good. We got a bit of a contrast. It looks so different now. From how bright those silvers were. Now we kind of got it looking dun gray. Perfect. Let me double check how much more silver do I need? Silver or black? Oh, the biceps. Duh. Let's crop dust this little section right here. Good enough. Oh, let me make sure I get these too. I'm gonna go back in here and grab a little bit of black. Clean this up. Damn, this all took 2 hours. Good Lord. Gonna gently touch these dots. Just a little bit of black. And it's coming together. We're getting it. I don't know how I'm gonna do her legs though. That is not gonna cut it. That flesh tone is not the move. Can't stress enough, that is not it. Oh, I need to get right up in here too. Some of that, get some of this, that. And then I wanna, again, I just wanna crop dust this with some black. I'm not worried about covering it. I'm gonna add some black to that silver to really help make it gun gray. Really gotta figure out, because the last thing we got to do is a flesh tone and then the base, and we're basically done. The flesh tone, I'm not gonna lie, and I had a feeling, and it's just something I'm gonna have to learn to do. I don't really know how to mix that flesh tone to get that shade. That flesh tone is dog piss. And I'm thinking of taking the same approach I did with Vegeta and adding just a hue of brown or maybe beige. Hang on. Yo, what's good, OGAC Stream Hub? I'm on a struggle bus when it comes to these flesh tones. I really don't know how on earth, because it does have a hue of pink to it. That might be too much. I don't know what. I don't know how really makes this shade. Really want to get this right though. So I'm going to do a little bit of experimenting. And I mean just a tablespoon of that pink. Fuck it. What does that make? Actually, that actually is about accurate. A little bit of pink, a little bit of that rose with that tint actually has it looking about accurate. But how it looks on this. Get this extra paint out of here. Maybe that doesn't feel like it's it. It does not feel like it's the right shade. We're gonna have to do a different shade for the flesh bits. Something. That is not gonna cut it. That flesh tone just is not gonna hit. It's not. As much as I don't want to concede and take the L. Ooh, as much as I don't want to concede and take that L. That flesh tint. We might have to two-tone this bad boy. Because I know these two shades are going to go together. As far as the pink, the flesh tint goes, I'm going to try and blend that on my brush. To somehow get this mix accurate. Because I am going based off of... Yeah. Really don't know. Actually, hold on. Oh boy, I don't have the faith in that shade. But it actually low key is actually kind of sort of right. Like that little bit of pink hue. And that pink hue low key might be the shade I'm looking for. Let's get some pink. Let's not be afraid of the pink. Let's not be afraid of that pink. That pink, low key. Hold on, chat. Oh, can we get some pink? That flesh tone does not carry the same weight I wanted to carry. It does not. Even just a pinch of pink added to it. Really tough to get that. You know what? I wonder if I got a metallic pink. I don't know if I got a metallic pink. Don't know if I really have a metallic pink to really bulk this up. I'm gonna add just a little bit of that flesh highlight tint to it as well. Like combine these colors to really lay down together. They do technically work together, or this particular tone. Pinch that pink. Then I'm gonna come over here, same thing, just a pinch of pink on that thigh. I'm really trying to bring some human tone to that. That is, yeah, human tone is something I really need to work on. A human tone. Oh, you know what? I gotta get the black underneath arms too. I did not do a good enough job of that. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and grab all this pink and really try to add something to these legs. Just a little bit of a highlight, something, anything. Really brush this together. I'm not gonna lie, it might be my least proudest paint job I've done on a model. But that just means I got more work to do. I got more to learn. So I'm just taking this with a grain of salt. And I'm not taking good flesh tones and doing humans or characters with human shades. Not really. And this is one of the things that really worried me back when I first used to color and paint back in the day. I was really, well, not paint, but mostly color, especially with color pencils. It was really tough getting a type of tone down. Yeah, that pink actually works a little bit better. Yeah, that pink actually works a little bit better. Okay, let me see if I got a metallic. I don't have a metallic, but I do have a pink blush, a little bit darker. I got a lot more work to do as far as getting good at this. And that's a lot darker, so that actually will help. Okay, maybe a pink blush is the shade we're really looking for here. I'm surprised I don't have a metallic pink. Almost there, gang. Really trying to get some of this black out of here. too strong. But it does give just a proper contrast. Okay. So I'm gonna use my size 4 brush, get these biceps. Hopefully you guys can see it in that camera. It looks a lot better than I give it credit for. It's just the quality of the print itself that just really has me like, ugh. Okay. So I do need flesh tint. I do need a pinch of that. Because now that I kind of have an idea for how these paints are going to work together, I'll sit them on top of each other, just so that way I can go ahead and mix it down. That's about right. That's about as close as I'm going to get to that. Come on. Kind of sort of getting it. Need to add a little bit more tone, but we're almost there, dude. We're almost there. Almost there. I wish I had a metallic pink. That would really help. It would really help if I had a metallic pink right now. So it looks like pink and flesh tone really will kind of help highlight this. Close as I can get to that tone. That we got here in the photo for the reference. Yeah. Yeah. It's about right. Low key. It's about right. How good is that, gang? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, gang, how good is that, chat? I got some red I probably need to add back in here. Yo. I'm not even gonna snap. This shit's low key. Here. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like that. That skin tone is really tough to show up though. Flesh tint, yes. It's like drop. Okay. And then I want to add just a little pea drop. Pink to go on top. And the way that color shade blends, and it doesn't look like it, but it does bleed in and blend together pretty well. Get some flesh tones up here I can pick up too in that paint. Okay, we're gonna clean it. Ooh, too much paint in that brush. I'm going to go ahead and really clean this brush out. Hopefully you guys can actually see that. It could be a little bit better coverage. I'll probably go over this a couple more times to really make sure we get this coverage accurate. I need to make sure I got that Deion Sanders coverage. There's 99.9% covered. And we get this little portion of bicep right here. Add a little bit more, swirl it around, really get that pink and that flesh tone working in the brush for me. Gonna really try to hammer that home. Getting this skin tone right truly is the bane of my existence right now. This is why I like having that small brush, and I can just really kind of get in here, work that leg, make sure I get it accurate. I want to make sure I get the coverage down. Yeah, I'm gonna reprint this and probably redo it in the future, just because. Man, every time you pop in, you had the wildest story to tell me. Found a local man who was a YouTuber, who was calling people PDF files. Oh yeah, that's how it works. If someone's calling you something, they're probably guilty of the thing they're calling you. Like, that is basically 101. All right, chat. I had to do it kind of pinkish to really get that color glow. What? It's at least got some differentiation in the color, and it almost looks about right. He was a teacher in the Really Songs. He said the best thing about being a teacher was the kids. That low-key sounds familiar. That low-key sounds super familiar. Man, that lighting is never going to do it justice. And I probably could have went over that with just a little bit darker black. But I want to keep it with some definition. I want to leave it with some definition. Let's see here. It could have been better. But shit, it had thicker thighs. I mean, listen. I do make them to order, my good friend. That can be arranged. This is actually fan art somebody made on Twitter, and I was like, dude, I don't want to paint that. I really, 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 really want to paint that. And the guy's like, go for it. I'm like, hell yeah. All right. Only thing left to do now is really just the board or the base. Then I'll take my paint marker and really just get the inside of the eyes. I'll work some of the smaller details in here, just to kind of give it a little bit of love. Let me see if I can work the base down. I'm gonna use my big boy brush. I want to cover as much ground as humanly possible. I'm probably going to regret going the size is big. But you know what? Trust the brush. Trust the brush, trust the process. Got to pause and wash my hands in just a second. I got so much glitter on my hands like a backhand of Lady Gaga or something. This is what I like. I like to dry brushing the big stuff, the big parts. This is like, you know what? I ain't even gotta be cute. I ain't gotta be cute. I ain't gotta be fancy. I can just really get in here and just go bonkers. And halfway there. God, I love having the big brushes. 2 seconds, I gotta wash my hands real quick. Hey, your boy is back. Yeah, we're trying to get there, Chuck. Trying to actually get on the secondary camera so y'all can actually see it. And in theory, it looks fantastic. In actuality, it needs more work. But I do like the way it looks. I probably do need to touch up a few spots here because I do got some pink on the gold. So I'll go in here and touch up just a little bit of that stuff. So you guys actually see it. Now I'm just doing the base. I'm gonna add some color to that. Gotta give it some love. I couldn't see if my brother was online too. I don't know that little nigga back yet. I ain't talked to him in like a week. Oh man, they're playing Helldivers. Hang on. Never know. I might join those guys in some Helldivers later. Maybe. But first, if I don't finish this, I'll be killed for heresy. So, gotta make sure I finish this for the Emperor. Nobody wants to get killed for heresy. Maybe that'd be a little bit better if I could see them. Clean this brush, get this excess paint out. I'm gonna finish up the baseboard. A little bit of coverage, and again, that's about the coverage I'm looking for. Just real light, real dusted. Nothing crazy. I don't want any heavy paint in this brush. I want this to be as light as possible. As I'm going over it, I'm just really dusting it almost like I'm dusting off some dirty furniture or something. I'm dusting it. Let's get the ram here. And let's make sure we get enough coverage. Get all this down here. And as soon as I'm done with this, I need to be able to go back over this with metallic. Really help bring it definition. Almost. Real challenges. I need to get this strip right here underneath this dress flap. Bada bang, bada boom. If you're new and you're watching, make sure you hit that follow button. And if you want this file to paint and download for yourself, all you gotta do is join my Patreon. It's only $5. Get access to all of my prints and all of my files. You can make your very own. And if you don't want to do that, Hey, I'm taking commissions. I will personally paint something for you. I do have a TikTok shop, which I will have to eventually add to my links. If you're on TikTok, your boy is rounding. Almost done. It's another great print. I'm probably gonna have to go over this and just touch up some detail work. Other than that, the base is, ooh, too much paint. Make sure we get the back of this. Brush up the edge here. All this is going to get detailed. And with this, I can be just a little bit more aggressive. I really hope I did not break this blade. So I'm going to crash out if I broke this blade. But the crash out will be monumental if I broke this. Might have put down a little too much gray. Thinking I was going to need all this. I'm going to make one more pass. I just want to make sure I really got everything down here on the base. Let's draw out our brush. Get all this out of here. Really work on the edge here. We got the base kind of down. It's got a nice metallic shade to it, or at least a nice gray. I'll let you guys see this. Yeah, I feel like I did pretty solid. Color scheme wise, again, if this print was just better quality in general, I probably would be a little better off. Light gray, done with. Go ahead and put that light gray back. And we are round in the corner. I'm going to hit this with some metallic silver just to kind of help give this floor some type of pop. So this metallic's got something to stand on. Cleaning this paintbrush is going to be fantastic. We can't get some real good paint. I love painting with these big brushes. They get such good coverage. actually add more paint to this time around. Really want to aim for that coverage. Make sure you actually got some metallic silver to work with here. Yeah. Not seeing that metallic. There we go. Now it's kind of starting to try to show up. Probably should have led with that metallic silver just to make sure that metallic silver is actually going to sit in there where I want it to. Damn, we are rounding a fucking corner, dude. This might have taken, yesterday was 6 hours, another 3, 9 hours. It's up here with Varuna. Almost a 9-hour total job. Yeah, now that I kind of got an idea of how this is supposed to look, I'll more than likely come back to this in the future, repaint, and redo this model. But really just a rough experiment just to see. I also might not dry brush the next time I paint it. I might actually get the paint markers and just flat out do it straight up. And just straight up paint this shit. No dry brush. I just really want to get all this metallic silver down. Second. Let's see if I can get this. I might have to actually go back over this when it dries. Just to really make sure it's gray. And there's also the fact that I want to add some blood stains to some of this. We kind of got the base for it down. And what I'm ultimately going to do is I'm probably going to go back and just splatter it with some black. Again, give it that gunmetal kind of color. Put it to this camera here. You guys can kind of see. Matter of fact, I can actually see this thing now. Okay. I can kind of see it. Yeah, some of the details could have been a lot better. But it's a simple fact that we have the gist of what this color scheme is. Ooh, glad that doesn't have a lot of alcohol in it. Hang on. Trying to get this to where y'all can actually see this shit. Really try to get a 1-for-1 with this shit. I feel like I did pretty good. Let's see you guys can kind of get in that deep. I still gotta add a little bit of detail. I gotta get that glow in the mask. Let's see, the only thing I really need is black, metallic gold. I'm gonna have to go over a couple of things. But I'm gonna do that after everything's really dry and done. So, probably use that metallic silver a bit later on. Those are the only 3 colors I'm going to use right now. One second. I want to get the tiny details, so I need a red, orange. Use the orange. That's all I get me. So it's time for your boy to pull out the secret weapon, the paint markers. Now these are those hard to reach places, weird bullshit, fantastic. The downside is they're not good when you're purely dry brushing, because this goes on soaking wet. So we're gonna have to use some precision. But, and this is what I love. Okay. Now we got that orange tint in her eyes. Again, this is something I never would have been able to do. Paintbrush. And this is why I truly love these AK paint markers. Like, these AK paint markers are fucking chef's kiss, dude. Like, doing God's work. Again, the only downside, hang on, let me switch cameras. The only downside is just how it goes on. Because it's so wet compared to the actual paint markers. Now again, I probably could have done this entire figurine with these markers. In hindsight, now that I think about it, I probably could have gotten away with it. Just for the simple fact that I want to match these colors with the actual original photo, and these colors are a lot more vibrant. I'm just going to add just the tiny details there. Little bit of details here and there. Put some red in here. Add some light to it. And if I don't want to actually color, I can just tap. Again, I love that. Again, just something to add some detail, just some life to it. I know the paint splash. We got a bunch of paint right here. I'm not super duper worried. As a matter of fact, now if I want to, I really could get right up in these ribs and really hit the highlights that you see here in the picture. But because I've been working on this for so long, I want to let this paint dry. I want to let this paint dry before I really start getting into details. I really could have used some of that, a little bit more black on that gun gray. Man, I feel like we really knocked that out of the park. I hate I don't have a black metallic though. Oh, you know what I didn't get? I need a gun gray so I get the chin, and we're done. Last one. Yeah, I love these AK markers. It looks damn near spot on with the rest of it. And honestly, I really feel like I probably could have painted this entire thing with these. I probably could have painted this entire figurine with these markers. Yeah. Perfect. Guys, thank y'all for joining. I'm going to take a quick break. And then I'm going to post some shorts, some clips, some highlights so you guys can actually see this thing in some better lighting. I shall be back on track for my regular schedule and bringing Warframe back, because my work schedule is finally done being crazy. The Warframe will be coming back. I know I've said that for the last couple of weeks. My schedule keeps changing, but I know for a fact that I'm going to work until 4:30 tomorrow, which means I can get up and play some Warframe and bring back Warframe Wednesdays. Because you know what? I'm going to make some models in the background. Stay tuned, because next week I'm either going to be painting Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Magician Girl, or I'm going to be hopefully doing a Warframe figurine, another Warframe print. One more time for you guys, just so y'all can get a look. Got a biblically accurate Warhammer custom model. I mean, we really knocked that out. I feel like we really knocked that out. Yeah, we really knocked that. All right, guys, your boy is gonna call it. Thank you for joining. I am really proud of this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one tomorrow. Warframe, I promise. Peace.